Hi everybody. I'm going to do a quick review and a setup for Run Fight or Die, and I'm using the expansions for it. So first, what I'm going to do is you want to pick a guy. Let's start there. And you have a bunch of different guys to choose from, and I chose the athlete. Each person gets a board, and once you get that set up, each person will be putting out 4 zombies on zone 3, 3 on zone 2, and then 2 on zone 1. And those are just for the regular zombies. So with the expansion included, it adds the brutes, runners, and crawlers. And just with the normal game, you just have just the walkers. But the normal setup of any of the games, you always start with the walkers in the beginning. That's just how you set up. So four walkers, zone 3, 3 in zone 2, 2 in zone 1. So after you do that, you can pick a skill. Each skill does, I'm going to adjust, does something different. One side, obviously you get 3 plus for your damage, or your life I should say. And this one says, problem avoidance. During the hunt phase, you may substitute a walker for one of the non-walker zombies. Well, I'm just going to choose to speed this up, I'm just going to choose the life. So instead of 5, I have 8. Each character has special abilities, and they're activated when you roll. You have to match what here to activate the special ability. This is the normal abilities that each of them have, and my guy allows bats to hit in every zone. See right here, just in zone 1 you can do a bat there, and then the other ones you can't, and then you can do a gun and run on each one. So anyway, we'll get there in a second. So you pick your guy, set up your board, pick a skill, which I did, and then you're going to take your location deck. You're going to search for this, the town line. Once you find that, what you're going to do is you're going to pick 2 random cards. Of course, these are all shuffled. And then once you pick those 2, you're going to shuffle. Let's just say I shuffled them. Those 3 cards. And once they're well shuffled, so you know the town line's in one of those 3. So once those are shuffled, then you're going to add 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And after you do that, you discard the rest. So we know that the town line is on the bottom 3 somewhere. So basically you're going to try to, I'll explain that in a second. We're going to have to try to get down to the town line and discover the town line so you can win the game. And you have to have a certain amount of survivors with you before you find that too. So you can't just go through it really quick. You have to find followers. So you need some followers to help you through the way. Anyway, but yeah, we'll get there. So that's how you set that deck out. And of course, followers, you just keep them all there. So just shuffle those. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, we don't need these skills here. And this is the mutant boss. Of course, we'll get there if it comes up. If not, I guess I'll just have to discuss it later if it doesn't come up. Anyway, so we got our location deck done. We found the town line. We put 2 cards with it, shuffled, and put 4 more on top. We got your fleeing cards shuffled, loot cards shuffled, event cards shuffled. And your black die is sitting there waiting to be used. And this is just a dice rolling pad, so it's not so loud. And then, of course, the zombie horde deck. That's gonna That's it with the expansion. Because before, you just add regular zombies over and over. But this one, oh, well, I guess I'll get there in a second. But anyway, and then your blood, your damages or whatever are right there, your tokens. And of course, you got to have your cheat sheet, I guess you want to call it. Explains what the dice does. And we're going to get there right now. So that's basically the setup. Pick your guy, set up your board, pick a skill, get your location, or find the town line, get that settled, and you're ready to start. So I'll do a couple turns to get the gist of this game. So what you do is you're going to roll these die. The black die is not included yet because we don't have anything that is telling us to roll it. there's either cards and followers that allow you to roll the other die. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the die. And what you do is you always do this, you always solve this first. And what this one does, adjust. Well, anyway, this is I don't know why it's not adjusting. It's actually a zombie. Wow, I don't know why it's not adjusting. Excuse me. Oh, anyway, this is a zombie claw, and what this does, you look on this sheet, you flip it over, you try to find out where it is. There it is, ambush. See, that's what it's supposed to look like. I don't know why it wasn't adjusting, but anyway, ambush. Take 1 wound. So you're solving that die first. Solve the gray die first. Take 1 wound. So I'm taking a wound. I don't know why it's not adjusting. But anyway, I'm going to take a wound. Place it right there on my guy. And I have 5, 6, 7, 8. So then I have 1 less now. And I have 7. And then I die. And you can heal in this game. And I'll show you in a little bit how. Anyway, so after you solve that, what you do is you look at what you have now. These are zombie die, and these are automatically locked. And the only way you can re-roll these, oh, I forgot to tell you, you have 3 rolls. So that was my first roll, and you have another roll, and then another roll. But, so this is my first roll, so you solve this always, you can't re-roll that. This is my first roll, but you can't re-roll these. So the only way you can re-roll these, for one, you have to have another roll, which I do have 2 more, because this is my first one, and you get 3. So anyway, the only way you can re-roll that now is if I did a fleeing card. And what you do, you know what, I'll just do it right now, just to give you an example. So what you do is you take a fleeing card, and you solve the effect. It says add 1 zombie to your zone 3. What you do, since it's expansion, you can flip this over, and it said you add 1 to zone 3. Okay. So you look at the number 1, it's a walker. And so you just add 1. These are the walkers to zone 3. That was not that bad. And you just discard that. And then, now, since I have 2 more rolls left, I can re-roll these. But before I do, I want to get some followers, because the point of this game is you need enough followers before you get to the town line. You actually need each follower has points. See, there's 3 points there. You need a total of 11 points. So you need, it depends on how many points each follower has. How many, I don't know. It's hard to say how many followers you might need. You might need. Who knows, you might only need 3. Sometimes you need 6, who knows. But anyway, as long as it totals 11 or higher points, so once you get to town line, hopefully you have 11 or more points to be able to win the game, basically. So I want to get a follower. So what you do to get a follower is you need, looks like I need search. So it's basically rolling the brown part of the die, which is this, looks like a bunch of hands holding together. And I have 1, and I need 2 to get a follower. So I'm just going to roll these. And the reason why I'm not rolling these ones is because a gun allows me to hit one zombie in any of the zones, and the bat is just zone 1. But of course, since I have this guy, I can do any zone. So bats do 2 damage, guns do 1. So I'm going to keep that because I need to keep these guys from coming, because each round they're going to press forward. You're going to see that in a second. So I'm going to keep the bat to hit these 2, and the gun will hit one of these guys. Anyway, so I'm going to save this. I'm going to just roll these 2, because I use the flea card, so I got to re-roll my zombie die. And I got another bat. And another gun. See what I'm going to do, since I can... It's only for 1 damage though, right? It's only 1 damage in the other zones. So bats are worth 2 damage here, so you can hit 2 guys, but then other zones for this guy, it's only 1 damage. So I'm actually just going to re-roll that again. So that was my second roll, right? Yep. Because I rolled, then I got the zombie died, then I re-rolled them. Failed that roll, and I'm rolling 1 more time. Okay. And I got a run die. So I didn't get my other, I was going for another one of these so I can get a follower. See there, it says 2 icons. So if I would have got 2 of these, it says you can draw a follower or draw a location, but I was going for a follower, but I didn't get it. So all I can do is, since I have 1 icon, I can draw a location. So that's all I can do there. So I resolve the blue die first. So basically the books, the hands, then the runners, guns, and bats. That's usually how you do it, but I don't have any blue books. So I'm going to do the search first. So all I have is the search die, all I have is this. So I'm going to resolve that, which is 1 location. So I'm going to go here, draw a location. Sometimes they're bad. Anyway, and this one is immediately draw and keep 2 loot cards. That's a good location. And I'm at the hardware store. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pick 2 loots, excuse me. A chainsaw, a medical supply. So anytime it says place 3 tokens, it's always talking about these. These are the only tokens there are. So you place 3 of them there. This keeps track. So every time you use 1, you take it away, obviously, and it allows you to do. This is right here. It says, once per turn, you may discard a token to heal 1 wound, then advance 2 zombies, 1 zone each. So if I wanted to, I can discard that and do that, but obviously I'm not gonna do that now. Chainsaws, pretty cool. You can discard to make all bat icons rolled do 3 damage each instead of 2 usually. So that'd be cool. So if you had a bunch of guys here, you could just wipe them out. Like if you had a bunch of bats, you had 6, 7 guys here, you'd be stoked to get that. Just use that anyway. So that was the loot. So drew a location. So I resolved that, got a damage in the beginning. So I got a damage. I resolved that. And then I'm going to use a bat, and I'm going to take out these 2 guys, because bats are worth 2 damage. Guess what? Boom, boom. These guys are done. So that's resolved. And then I have 2 guns. I'm going to shoot these 2. Boom, boom. Those resolved. And then I have a runner. And I did do it out of order, but technically it really matters between doing this first and then the search. You always do the books first and then the search first. And then the other ones don't. It doesn't really matter after that. So anyway, and then I'm going to do the run die, which running means is you can push back. You can't push back runners. So these guys, you want to be able to push back. But you can push back all the other ones. And the cool thing about pushing them back you can push him back off the board. So you can, he's just gone. He got lost. So that's the kind of benefit of those. And it's actually nice to push off brutes, because they're actually it takes 2 hits to kill them, while everyone else takes 1 damage. So basically 1 bat would take out a brute. Anyway, so that is the turn. So that's, and what you do is after that, guess what? Exciting part, they all come up one zone. And that's not it. You have to spawn anytime you get, which I don't, but if you had zombie dice, you have to add 1 more to the 3 you originally have to add. So let me go back a little bit. Originally, let's just go back because I don't have any zombies. You check there, see if any zombies. If you don't, you add 3 zombies, which is mandatory. You just always do. After you do all that, you bring your zombies in 1 zone, and then you have to spawn more zombies. So basically, you always start with 3. But if you had zombie token, or if you had zombies on your die, you add 1 additional. So in this case, I have the 3 plus 1, and I would have to add 4. But I don't, so I'm just going to add the 3. And what you do is, guess what? You flip over one of these cards, and I have to add 3 zombies. So what you do is you look here, it goes, I have to add a runner, a brute, and a crawler. So I'll be adding that. Runner, brute, and a crawler. So that's my 3 zombies I added. And that is the end of your turn. And in locations, you got to make sure that they stay 1 full turn. So even though I actually got that last turn, you actually have to play a whole turn with it. So you can't just draw another one right after that. So I kind of made that mistake when I first played. Anyway, I'm going to do 1 more turn. So again, roll the die. Remember, I'm trying to get followers because I need 11. Remember, I need 11 points. So, top left corner is the point value of each follower, and so 3 this one's worth. So I need, what was it? I think you needed 11 of them. Yeah, I needed 11. Sorry, I couldn't remember how many I needed. You needed 11 points. So I would need 8 more. So of course I need more followers here, because if I'm going and blowing through the locations to get the town line, I'm gonna lose because I don't have any followers to help me leave. So you need 11 points worth of followers before the town line comes up. So yeah, locations are good to go through a little bit, but you don't want to get too far ahead of schedule. Anyway, so back to what I'm saying. I'm trying to go for followers now. Anyway, I rolled, and these are automatically locked, remember? You have to resolve the gray die first, always. So I'm going to take a wound again. So I have 6 more life left. Let's see what to do. So, what do I want to do? I got my books. So the 2 books, what does 2 books get me? Draw location, loot card, 1 heal 1 wound. I draw 1. If I get 1 more book, I get a follower though. Maybe I'll do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a fleeing card. I don't like to do too many fleeing cards because they can be bad. This one says, jeez, I can't focus on it. If I just put it down, it'd be easier. Add 2 zombies to your zone 3. So you go back to this deck. 2 zombies to your zone 3. So that's gonna be Brute and Walker. And now I get to roll these. I'm going for a book. You know, I'm just gonna roll a 3 because I really want a book. I didn't get it. Dang it. So I solved this. Good news, I don't have any more zombies on my die because it'd be added to there. So anyway, this is kind of bad. Well, what you do is resolve these first. Oh, first is this, and then for white die, it's always the blue. So you look at your chart. I have 2 blue books. So all I can do is draw location, draw 1 loot, or heal 1 wound. Well, I can't draw location because I'm already at a location. Of course, after this turn, I can discard it, and then I can go for another. So I can't do location, but I can go for heal a wound. But I have 6 wounds. I have 6 more to go before I die, so I don't need heal. So I'm just gonna draw a loot card for that. So draw a loot card. Shotgun. All right. So what shotgun is? Discard to make each gun roll do 2 damage instead of 1. That's pretty cool. So I don't need to use any of those things yet. So anyway, back to this. I have 1 zombie in the front, so I'm gonna take him out because what would happen if I couldn't kill him. Let's say if I was all done resolving my dice, if I couldn't kill him, he would come forward and wound me. So if there was a bunch of guys and they all came forward, they can just wipe you out pretty quick if you don't, fight them. You run, fight, or die. Anyway, so I resolved the gray die first, of course, then the books, and then I'm gonna damage this guy. Even though it's worth 2, he's only worth 1 hit point, and there's 2, but the other one's wasted, basically. And so resolve that one, and then I have 2 runners, so I can push back. And I'm gonna push back these 2 brutes because these are worth. Each one of these guys are worth 2 hits each. So that's like 4 hits. I'm basically getting rid of. So I push them back off the board. So I resolve my gray die. Resolve my books, and my bat, my 2 runners. That's all my die. So now, push it forward. See how this is getting hectic? And this is a runner. So guess what runners do? Runners jump up 2 zones. So he was at zone 3, and now he's at zone 1. Crawlers, you can only hit with bats. So that's another thing with them. I forgot to explain that part. So yeah, the crawlers, you can only hit with bats. Excuse me. Let me just turn that off really quick. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, regular zombies just move normally. Brutes move normally. Just the only one that actually jumps to 2 spaces is the runners. So basically, runners move up twice, 2 zones. Brutes take 2 damage. Crawlers can only get hit by bats, and then walkers are just walkers. So anyway, there's that. So I pushed everyone up. And now it's time to draw. And you just do additional 3 zombies always, unless you have something that says otherwise. Your die, or there might be something else in there. I can't remember if. Yeah, I think there is another event card. I haven't done the events, but there's some event cards that are pretty bad. And one of them's you spawn an extra zombie every night. So instead of 3, it'd be 4. But anyway, this case, I do the original 3 zombies. And like I said, I drew a card, and so I do a runner, walker, runner. Runner, walker, runner. And all of them but the brute take 1 damage. The brute takes 2 damage, remember? And then all the other ones take 1 damage. The runners are pretty gnarly because they jump up twice. If they ever spawn in zone 2, you're basically, that's scary when they spawn in there. Anyway, so that's basically another turn done. Oh, and then you discard, of course, this, because this is over with. Well, I didn't get any followers. Some followers do cool things. Let's go over one really quick. You add the black die, so you can add the black die to, oops, knocking stuff over. You can add the black die to your roll, so it's actually a better chance of killing stuff and doing all that. But then there's also a bad effect, which says at the start of your turn, advance one zombie on your board, one zone. So at the beginning of your turn, you would go, choose one, move it forward. Then you get the black die, and they all do different things. This one's if you roll 3 or more zombie die. So I rolled 3 in the beginning, you lose him. He's infected. There's a bunch of different guys that do different things. If you roll 3 runners, you can change them to. You change one of your die icons to any one of your choice. So that's kind of cool. But they all do different things. Anyway, so that's basically a wrap. So what you do, again, roll the die, resolve the grave die first, then the books, then the search icons, and then you battle off the rest. That's usually the way you do it. Because it matters in an event card sometimes, I realized. And it might be in the rules, but I'm pretty sure it's in the rules. But yeah, because the blue die has event cards, and sometimes that messes with how things are or go. And, if you did everything, like you killed all the zombies first, and then an event card came out and it allowed more zombies to come on, like, I don't know. It's better just to resolve the blue first, and then the books, and then basically the search icons, which is the hands. But anyway, so yeah, just rolling your die, doing all that, defeating zombies, searching locations, try to get followers. I needed 3 books to get a follower, or 2 brown search icons, the hands. I needed 2 of those to get a follower. And they help you through battling and all that. And anyway, that's basically the Run Fighter die in a nutshell. Oh, and then these guys. There's a card in here that spawns this guy, and it depends on how many players are. He puts hit tokens on there, and how to get the hit tokens off. You have to shoot him with. So meanwhile, you're battling these zombies, but then you're trying to kill off this, or basically wounding him, and he runs away. If you hit him for all 20, then he dies, and you win the game. That's another way you can win the game. If you hit all 20 tokens, which is really rare. But anyway, and then of course if he comes out, he has a mutant deck that you draw from. That's pretty gnarly. And then, and then there's a co-op version too, which I am obviously not playing, but you can play. It's pretty fun. So it's a competitive and co-op game, and a solo game, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's basically Run Fighter Die in a nutshell. All right, thanks for watching.